cans hit the deck. We don't need that for a minute. So we're going to need a return spring. If I remember where I have them. There we go. No, we don't. That's not one. That is. There you go. We're also going to need a spring washer. It could be that one. And a nut. Like this one. Is a steel nut. And that's not it. What about this one? Yeah. Nope. They all look the freaking same. That's the one. Okie dokie. And that's not the right spring. Beg your pardon. What I'm looking for now is, these are quite crude. That's the one. We need that, and we also need control lever. Now if I remember correctly, the nut faces inwards. So in goes, get the return spring, which has a sharp pointy bit, the end of the spring, and put it in its hole. It's got a little tiny hole in there. Locate that in there. Then you see there's another hook here, and you need to slide your lever under it. Alright, over. Rotate the lever over the shaft and slot it in like that. You'll need to tidy up the now I tell you what, before you get into aligning the spring fully, assemble lightly, loosely the nut and whatever the other thing's called, a spring washer. That's it. Okay, so that's not going to go anywhere now. Now with a little tiny screwdriver, you want to align or organize the return spring. Alright, and that's beginning to look good. Often you'll find that one of the coils can get stuck in under the lever, and your lever will seize, which is not far from what's going on here now. Yeah, one of them is trying to stick under the lever, and it's not easy. It's like you need several hands to tighten this up. It's all about making it happen, mate. But it's just working for us, man. You know, it really has. We have a lot of influences kind of all over the board. Yeah. It's fun to even bring those influences into our music, you know. Literally bringing them into our music, like Backstreet, like Tim McGraw. You know? So it's been very cool for us, very humbling. Yep. You know, it's a really cool honor to be able to create music with guys like that. Absolutely. Is there one that you have in mind that like something, man? Tell you what. Stanley knife comes in interesting. Useful, I mean. Okay. Freaking beautiful. Now, get a number 8 spanner. I think that's a number 8, yep. And tighten this little bad boy up. Alright, making sure that it's not seized. It won't seize. It needs to move freely. That's it. Now that's nice. That's this side of the gear sorted. Now we need to tell you what. See about aligning these. Not yet, not yet. Right, let's tap a little more. Let's tap that little boss in a bit more. Don't like what I'm doing, so I'm going to use this little thingy. Kneel down. Alright. Good start. We'll need a bit more. Now, for the alignment. These are not aligned now. We're off by one gear. No, one lug, what's it called? Unfortunately, oh, that's better. Okay. Is that it? That is the bad boy motherfucker. Drive it home, baby. Let's have a look. Okay. Yeah, we're still lined up. We're still lined up. Final approach. Okay. Yep. Yeah, guys, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with this. Now, we've got the outer cable locking screw. Now this outer cable locking screw is somewhere. Here it is. That's the outer cable locking screw. I think that's a number 8. Yeah. It's a number 8. Lock it fully in. This isn't going to get touched again until the carburetors are installed. Okay. And also, there's another screw that goes here, which is, what is it? Actually, this is the wire, yeah, the wire screw. Can't remember what it looks like. So, I think, there we go. That's the one with the slots in it. Yeah. Okay. I think that's where it belongs, but I might be wrong. I'm just mock assembling it now. We'll deal with the final details afterwards. And finally, fit the wire gauze. Sorry, the brass mesh. Basically, this slots in. All right. Sort of gentle press fit. Don't use any force. You need to make sure it's lined up all the way around, because it's slotted all the way around. The machining on this is unreal. Yeah. So maybe help line it up before you push and line up. Come on, baby. Sure. It's not easy, man. It's not easy. Take it up, try it the other way around. We set July on fire. Yeah, girl. Sunrise, sunburns. Carpet burns. This looks like shit. Nope. Don't like it. Goes back, get another one. I think this song's putting me off. He didn't have another lyric, so he just put yeah in. You know, he's doing better than I am. I wonder if he'd like standing up. No, he probably wouldn't. Oh god, this takes so long. Anyway, I think, I'll be honest with you, I don't think this is good enough. Anyway, you get the idea. Congrats on your top 10. I love Americans. There we go. Got it. Have I? No, I fucking haven't. That's it. Okie dokie, so that's the choke mechanism sorted. Now what we need next is for that to go there. What we need next is the plungers. My cold start plungers there. We need those. We also need 2 of these with the other one. Also need these. Yep. And you know what? I'm going to take that. One of those. And another one of those. Okay. And we also need some cold start springs. Wherever they are. Where are the cold start springs? There we go. Here are the new cold start springs. One. Two. Throwback album for me. Okay. So now we're going to remove the top cover. can see what I'm doing, guys. So let's put those there. Okay, so here we have our main unit. Put our pistons in first. Do you know what? Okay. Good. So first went in the pistons with the open tops. In go the springs. I shall do one spring at a time. And then goes the spring guide. And then goes the retainer ring. Okay, that's in. Now where is my friendly persuader? Yes. Is that nice and flush? Are you nice and flush? That's good. So that's one. In goes the second spring, and the second spring guide, and the second retainer. Okay. Okay. There he goes. Persuader. Okay, so those are nicely installed. Now what we want to do is test our cold start mechanism. Alright. Now make sure it's flat, and it is flat. And now we want our cold start mechanism securing screws, which I believe are M4, 2 of them. Okay, 2 of those with some flat Form B brass washers. That's 1, and that's 2. Lovely. Good, but these can easily fly off, so that's why I put my fingers on. But that's looking nice. Okay, so we can now shut the top covers. Next time we'll revisit these is to set the float height. Okie dokie. So that was the installation of the cold start circuit. We've installed the auxiliary venturis and chokes, we've installed the bottom cover, we've installed the spindle and throttle valves, and that's pretty much it. Let's put the jet cover back on. Tell you what, we'll put all the jet cover Actually, no, check cover screws. Why not?
Let's put the jet. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm calling them jet covers. I mean top cover screws.
On the BBC Sounds app, on digital radio, and on 88 to 91 FM.
There we go, chaps. So we've got our basic rebuild complete. It's completed. Idle mixture screws are set at 2.5 turns out. Idle air bypass air bypass screws are fully screwed in, fully seated, and locked into place and left at that. Chokes, auxiliary venturis are installed. Pump jets are installed with new oil O-rings and aluminium washers, and throttle spindle with new bearings, lever washer installed, provisionally set. Throttle valves are in and they're seated nicely, they're flat and they're sealing correctly all around. So just removal one by one the throttle valve screws to put some medium strength thread lock, locking, whatever it's called, compound. Cold start mechanism is assembled and ready. Provisionally set the screws up. I'm not too sure what they're going to do, if they're going to put a choke system on it or if they're just going to leave it open. I mean, you know, you can use the pump circuit to enrich the mixture to start the engine. So we're going to we've got to set the float, we've got to change the idle mixture screws to new ones, and finish off the thread lock on the throttle valve screws, and that's it. These will be then ready to install onto the car, set up the throttle linkage, 'cause it's a V12 engine, put the fuel hoses on, fit the trumpets. These have got some lovely trumpets, look at these. Got these bad boy Ferrari trumpets. Yeah, they look a bit rude, man, bad boy. You know what I mean? Bad boy trumpets. My customer, that cut's there from the factory apparently. Anyway, my customer said he wants to keep the trumpet separate because he's got to put the air filtration backplate on first and then the trumpets on top. So the big job here will be to set all the carburettors up, start the engine, balance the carburettors together, and hopefully take it to a rolling road and tune it, because he's got a new engine, a newly built engine, electronic ignition, a few other upgrades, and he wanted to fit 40 DCOE carburettors, but these are the original carbs, so he's going to fit 38 DCOEs, and depending on what he feels like, we might equip his engine with 40 DCOEs. That's it. Alright guys, I might do a video on the float as well. I'll tell you what, I think I will. Got a bit of time left. Shall I do the that looks good actually, that looks good. was thinking if I should do the thread. No, I won't do it. To lock the threads. And also lift the locking tabs up, guys. I'll do that with you now. Right, just get your Stanley knife, slide it under the tab washer, bend it, and then get something like this puncher driver. Fold it onto the nut and wrap it around the edges of the nut. Alright. And that prevents the nut from falling off, because these nuts, we can't do them up very tight because it will bend the spindle, you see. So that's why we've got these locking washers. And on the other side as well, again, start the curve with a Stanley knife or a blade, and then proceed to something a bit heavier. Like that. And wrap it around the nut. Okay. That's it. Okay. That's it, chaps. How to rebuild a, well, not necessarily rebuild, kind of, yeah, do a thorough restoration on a WEBER DCOE carburettor. It's the same practice for 45 DCOE, 48 DCOE. There are a few differences with spindle configuration. Some of them don't have the idle, the air bypass screws. Some of them have slot-in trumpets, some of them have bolt-on trumpets, some of them don't have a cold start at all, but yeah, they're the 48 DCOEs. And also you get the 50, 55 DCO SPs, sorry, 48, 50, 55 DCO SPs. Again, these are the same basic, it's the basic requirement to do the work on those as well. So the key things here is really, it takes time to do it. You need to be quite methodical so you do not lose or misplace any parts. Take photos when you're stripping them off, when you're stripping them. The big improvement comes from the vapor blasting. That really transforms the look. Zinc plating also, which is also makes them look new, and the phosphate coating, which is the black on the spindle and several other parts. When you vapor blast them, it's all not easy to do, right? Once you've stripped them, it's a few moments worth of work to vapor blast the carburettor, but the cleaning afterwards is maybe 3, 4, 5 times more, and it needs to be done carefully because there's a few passages in the DCOE carburettor that can easily be blocked, and if they're blocked, forget it. Your carb's not going to work. Okay, so compressed air, patience, and be methodical and thorough. So I've done this now. It's took me about, I don't know, 2.5 hours or something like that to rebuild this carburettor. I've got to do this to another 5 carburettors, and any mistake could cost me dearly, time, money, frustration. So it's got to be done really sort of like you're a bit of an idiot, yeah? Just take your time, really gently, ploddy. Just show you some of my tools that I've used. There you go. That's my basic, well, you can see there. That's a magnet, alright, irrelevant. Stanley knife, very light hammer. A very nifty, friendly screwdriver, very small. 8mm spanner, 10mm spanner. That's my hook, which I used to grab the throttle return spring. And I've got a selection of my main screwdrivers here. 3 different sizes. Alright. This is my driver punching tool. Okay. It's not a tool really, it's just a freaking old distributor shaft. Flat nose pliers, long nosed pliers. Got 11mm spanner for the spindle nuts. Sorry, another flat. This is for the emulsion tube holders. My magnifying glass, which backs up as a torch. Alright, very good. Number 19 spanner for the fuel filter cover. Got these two bad boys here, right? These are just two deep 1/2 inch sockets, which I use to drive new bearings into the bodies. Alright, so that's that. I've got a torch, which is flat. Got a wire. This is a brass brush, but I've got a selection of brushes. It's a bit of a heavier hammer. My file, and my Skull and Bones camera. Alright chaps, that's it. So there's your so sort of pretty much completely restored WEBER DCOE carburetor, and I've got to do another 5 now. So all the best chaps, hope you enjoyed the video and you found it useful and maybe got some useful tips. Also important is the flat, this is a woodworking vise. Alright, it's got flat surfaces in, so it's very good to lock the carburetor in, but you've got to use wood so it doesn't damage the aluminium surfaces. Yeah, so as far as if you guys want to know how to do the float, you know, drop me a comment. I can do it in a few minutes. I just need to find the tool to do it with. So over and out guys, hope you enjoyed it. Classic Carbs, visit our website. We've got service kits, we've got everything you can think of for the DCOE carburetor, from jets to tuning tools, books, trumpets, throttle valves, fuel pumps, you name it, we've got it. ClassicCarbs.co.uk. Enjoy your motors, have fun restoring your carburetors, and feel the satisfaction and strength when you successfully start your engine, and you can really enjoy what you've done. Cheers guys.